And we are live. What's up, guys? Eddie Gray here. We're back in the mix with Eddie Gray. Absolutely ecstatic to be here. You guys know I love putting in the work, brick by brick. You guys know that I love to do this. I've been dreaming about this since I was this small, and here we are making it happen, closing deals every week, contributing to the lives of other modern creatives every week and just growing, guys, every single day. Today I woke up at 4:30. If you don't believe me, check out my Instagram, Eddie Gray Music, and I am feeling pumped up. You know, I don't even need an alarm clock these days. I just get up because I'm so elated and ready to work. So I want to share with you a quick story. I woke up and I have a routine that I walk through. And today, for whatever reason, I felt really called to use a software called Egoist by Sugar Bytes. If you haven't heard of it, it is absolutely bananas, and we're actually going to cover it today. But before we get into that, before we dive into the music production process in the viewpoint of what I like to call the modern creative, the people that are coming up right now, the people that are on laptops, the people that are working in the box, perhaps implementing other workflows, but predominantly in the box. This is the individuals that I'm catering to. And so before we get into that, I just want to start off with a couple of affirmations just to kind of make sure you understand the spirit in which that we're speaking on this channel. Resources for the modern creative. So sometimes I think it's good, especially for beginners, to start off with an affirmation that goes like this: I can produce better than or equal to anybody on YouTube. So we'll start there, right? Because it's a measurable result. I can produce better than or equal to anybody on YouTube. All right. So then once that starts to become real, once you really kind of start to embody that, then perhaps you go a little bit bigger. I can produce better than or equal to anyone in the industry. And then maybe it feels a little far fetched, but the more you say it, and of course, the more you get your reps in, the more you're going to start to live into that. Okay. So that's what I want you to do. Write that down. I can produce better than or equal to anyone on YouTube. I can produce better than or equal to anyone in my city. I can't produce better than or equal to anybody in my state. I can't produce better than or equal to anybody in the industry. And so this is just something that you want to use to move forward. All right. So I can't wait to show you that software. I'm super excited. Um, and kind of the theme of today is stealing from yourself. Okay. We're going to get into um, how can I, especially in the world of music licensing, I mean, in all fields, right? Whether you are making samples or you're making beats for sale, you still have to work in a very quick, kind of fastidious way, right? Where you're just kind of moving forward every single day, cranking out something new. You have to be inspired, and if you're not inspired, you still have to get in the work, and you have to still produce, right? So I thought about this book that I read called Steal Like an Artist, and I really want to share it with you. We're just going to go over a couple of pages. I don't know, maybe we'll read it over time, but it's a fantastic book, and I really think it best exemplifies what we're here to do as creative people, because I think that one of the fallacies is that you have to be original or you have to do it all yourself or you have to be special. And you know what? I don't think so. It doesn't have to be that way. You can just have music in your heart, you can have the right mindset, you can have will and discipline and power, and then from that place maneuver yourself and force yourself to get into the music industry, just like I did. If you don't know who I am, Eddie Gray, IMDb me, check me out. Instagram, Eddie Gray Music. We're here to serve you. HFmusicacademy.com. All right, so let's go into this book here. Really, really great by Austin Kleon. And it's, right here underneath the title, it says 10 Things Nobody Told You About Being Creative. So here, let's check this out. A couple of quotes from Pablo Picasso. Art is theft. So, if Picasso is saying that art is theft, then you might want to take a look at that. You might want to think about that. All right, here's something by T.S. Eliot. Immature poets imitate, mature poets steal, bad poets deface what they take, and good poets make it into something better, or at least something different. The good poet welds his theft into a whole of feeling which is unique, utterly different from that from which it was torn. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read this, but I'm basically going to replace the word poet with musician or creative. So why don't I just say producer for now? Because that really encompasses what we're all basically doing: arranging, producing, right? Engineering. So here we go. Immature producers imitate, mature producers steal, bad producers deface what they take, meaning they make it worse, and good producers make it into something better, or at least something different. The good producer welds his theft into a whole of feeling which is unique, utterly different from that which it was torn. So I hope this helps you see what it is I'm talking about. You don't have to be Mozart, you don't have to be a genius, you just have to be musically inclined, and perhaps if you don't have the talent necessarily, that you can work hard for it. You can work hard for it. You can collaborate. You can uh, learn from other people. You have a lot of options, but I just want people to just relax a little bit, and I want to demystify this industry. There's the too it's too complex. There's too many people talking about just too much, and so I want to make it simple. Let's read a little bit more here, and then we'll get into making some music. So here, check out this little diagram here. It says, "Is it worth stealing?" And then you can see that basically you've got these arrows. Like if I say yes, then you move on to the next thing. And then if you ask the question again, and if you say no, then you move on to the next thing. So basically, they're trying to just illustrate like it's not that big of a deal. So here, I'm going to read a page or two. How to look at the world like an artist. Every artist gets asked the question, where do you get your ideas? The honest artist answers, I steal them. How does an artist look at the world? First, you figure out what's worth stealing, then you move on to the next thing. That's about all there is to it. When you look at the world this way, you stop worrying about what's good and what's bad. There's only stuff worth stealing and stuff that's not worth stealing. Everything is up for grabs. If you don't find something worth stealing today, you might find it worth stealing tomorrow or a month or a year from now. The only art I'll ever study is stuff that I can steal from. Okay, so that's David Bowie. You guys know that guy had a heck of a career. So, yeah, perk your ears up, pay attention if David Bowie is calling. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. Check out this great book, and let's talk music. Let's go into this here. I just kind of want you to understand my psychology um, before we go into this session in Logic. All right, everything's running the way it should. This is a track that I wrote a couple years back for a show that I was the head composer on A&E. And long story short, I got a brief this week for tracks that are kind of in the vein of tension music, and so I kind of I've been doing this for years, where I repurpose tracks and I take them and I change them into something new, and so I wanted to take a moment to just show you what you can do, how you can approach this so you can repurpose music, so you can work faster. Look, instead of turning in one track, you could turn in two or three or four tracks, and that gives you a better chance at either getting the placement or landing more placements as a whole. And so I've got a list here that I'm going to follow. Started out with that great book, Steal Like an Artist. And so then now we're going to listen to the reference tracks in order to steal, borrow from, and I'm also going to take from my own catalog as well. So, as you guys may know, I am a big advocate of mastering the mix. Shout out to Tom, perhaps one of the greatest companies that has completely changed the face of modern music production. and I love their plugins. And so here I'm gonna go ahead and drag in some references. Now the thing about this specific plugin is it only takes certain kinds of files. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I can't drag in MP4 files. You see how it doesn't let me, bring them in there. So let me X out of that. All right, cool. So I'm gonna use a batch processor called Myriad. You don't have to do it this way. You can uh, you know, individually drag in files, but these are files that I already downloaded that I know are going to work for this specific track. And so I'm going to A B them side by side. And I'm also going to reference them. Like, for example, are they using sounds that sound darker? Do they have different texture? What's their snare sound like? I'm giving you the psychology in this channel. I want people to see how it's done. One viewpoint, of course, but if you get one, two, three, four, five gems, then that's what I'm after here. So I'm doing batch processing. Why am I doing batch processing? Look, if you want to do this individually inside of your DAW, it's going to take much longer. All right. So I'm going to grab these. Myriad was just bought by Zynaptic. And so I'm so excited for these plugins to come back. They have had a heck of a journey if you know anything about them, and they're pretty cool, pretty easy to use. So you can see that I've ingested the songs. I need to convert them. You could also use iTunes, but again, I think this is a little bit faster. So then now I'm going to go to the workflow window, which is right here. Okay, and then I'm going to change these to. Let me just go. Yep, 4424 wave. I don't need. Let me see. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so notice I'm sending these to the desktop. I've got them loaded, and all I have to do now is just hit run. Okay, because these are various actions that you can um, use for for batch processing. But all I need to do is render a couple waves, and so I'm gonna go ahead and hit run. And I'm not necessarily like overly concerned with the fact that it's not gonna be high quality or anything like that. I just want to get to work. Okay, so okay, I got a second screen here. Let me drag these in. All right. All right. So that's how we get over that little hurdle. Modern music production, in my opinion, you have to have high numbers, you have to have a lot of clients, you have to do a lot of different things. And so you have to learn how to basically get over a lot of little obstacles, whether it be technical, whether it be business, logistical. You have to kind of figure out a way to keep getting paid, get new clients, have a pool of clients. It is certainly an adventure, and I'm helping a lot of people kind of navigate those waters at hfmusicacademy.com. All right. So we got them loaded. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play my track, and I'm just going to start slowly scanning, like, what do they have and what do I have, kind of thing. All right. And the idea is to get inspired. All right. So we can start to steal or borrow more effectively. So I'm going to start writing myself some notes here. And then I'm going to show you this fantastic software called Egoist that I learned this morning and that I picked up, and I'm just absolutely in love with. So here we go. What? Oh, geez. Okay. All right, we're gonna do this another way. What happened here? How come it didn't render? Yeah, sure did not. All right. So, all right, let me go ahead, just so I don't have to do all this stuff on camera. We're gonna go ahead and just bring them in. This is not the way I would usually do it, but hey, why not? So let's see here. Let me go, boom, grab these guys. Reference music. Here's snapped. Oh, geez, it replaced. Okay, maybe I hold on. Oh, dude, it replaced my files. Ooh, I wonder if I can get them back. Hold on. Yeah, so one of the things I usually do is replace files that oh, geez, I lost them. All right, cool. I'm gonna have to get those back. I wonder if I backed them up. Hmm, don't remember. All right, so you know what? Let's just keep the ball rolling because the show must go on, as they say. All right. So we'll check back with that in a bit here. But for now, let's go borrow from yourself. So I'm going to pull up this guitar. Again, the framework here is that we're borrowing from ourselves. So here's the original guitar that I played. Okay, so that's not the one that I'm going to borrow from. It's going to be this one right here. All right, so you can hear it's basically a tremolo guitar, um, and yeah, from what I remember, it's just a loop. So what I did, guys, was I brought it into this plugin. If you haven't heard of it, it is absolutely insane. It is a sampler. For those of you who use Logic, you could think of it like a you know the what's that there's the classic, and then there's the one shot, and then there's the slicer, right? And so it's kind of a very similar format, but this is much more intuitive and it makes a lot more decisions for you. So then on top of that, you have a bass and beat generator that you can play with. And so look, all I did was I took this track that you just heard, the tremolo guitar, and I put it in here. And let me show you what I got, and then we'll talk specifics. Here we go. All right, so let me take you a little bit closer into the plugin because I really want you to understand what I'm talking about here. Let me share this way with a portion of the screen. Okay, so here is the slicer, and so what's happening is this plugin is generating MIDI, um, and you're able to program a pattern based on a 16 uh, step rate. So, okay, I can, in essence, choose slice 14 for the first step. I can select slice 6 for the second step, onward and onward. And how do I do that? All I do is move this little slider here, or you can effectively bring up patterns right here. So let's say I wanted to change the movement as a whole. Okay, I can start generating new patterns if I wanted to and have things move around. So the possibilities are truly endless. So here, let me go back to a full share. All right, there we are, back in Logic. And so on top of being able to, you know, randomly select which slice is going to be played where, I can determine the direction if it's playing forward or reverse. And then on top of that, the pitch. So let's just say you wanted to change it up one octave. Well, you could go ahead and click and then just drag up, and now you're seeing some new icons here. And so this is what that sounds like. Right? And so there is a little bit of latency there simply because I have my buffer size up to 1024. I usually do this for the cast I do. So yeah, you can change, you know, per semitone on every individual slice, or you can change per octave right here in the bottom row. So that's pretty sweet. On top of that, I have you know, ADSR control. Well, AD, the attack is there, and then the decay is right there. And then of course volume, which is determined right here. And so that's just on a pattern level. I can develop various patterns, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to do one from scratch, but let's hear this one more time in the context of the track. Here we go. Okay, so I hope you understand kind of what I'm pointing to. You can take from yourself. You don't necessarily always have to look for information outside, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and just show you how I would generate a pattern. Now remember, I'm not using the original anymore. You could chop it up yourself, but I'm gonna hit Control H and hide that in the background. I'm just now solely relying on Egoist by Sugar Bytes in order to get the job done. So I'm gonna click on pattern number 2. So I've essentially, started the process all over again. And unless I find something new in here, because I don't like spending time just looking for stuff, then I'm gonna go ahead and just find that same sample. But for right now, I'm gonna see if I can just find like a nice vocal. See, let's see what we got here. Mm. So that's cool, but that's not a vocal, so we don't need that. Okay, cool. Hold on, maybe I missed something here. Uh, oh, I see what's going on. So this is like a whole song, right? And so that may not work for what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to find like a simple vocal part. Uh, let's see if I can pull something together here. Sugar Bites. Hmm. Ah, man, it'd be nice if there was like a nice vocal chop somewhere. Hmm. And like I said, if not, we're gonna find something. All right, we're gonna find something. Here, let me just check out a couple of these. Nah, it's gonna be way too zany. I just could get a nice little vocal. All right, let's go into trying to find something in the library. Let's see if we can get something going here. Do I have any samples in here? Okay, now let's go to my sample folder. And so I'm gonna go into, let's see, drum loops. Let's go into, I've got some Indian music right here. This might be interesting. Oh, it doesn't take MP3s or those files. What I got here? Got some Tupac in there. I don't know if that's gonna work. Oh, you know what? These are some pretty interesting files from what I remember. Let's do minor. Ah, no AIFF. So you see how this becomes an issue with compatibility, something being compatible. You have to make sure that you do all that stuff in advance. I don't want to do that on screen. See, we got some WAV files here. Come on, guys, give me something. Nope. Why can't we drag those in? That's weird. Uh, Aeon collection. Here, let me see if I could do this off screen. Nah, we definitely just need something. Let's see, what's this? Okay, let's listen to some of these. Okay, let's see if I can load this whole folder. That might be. Oh no, it looks like. Okay, let me start with this guy. And then, like I said, I just picked this up this morning and I started reading the manual, so I'm still kind of getting around it. Custom folder. Okay, that works. Yeah, this should probably be it. Okay, so I'll load this one and then I'll load a custom folder number 2. And for that, we'll load not the pulse, but the other guy, which is ambiance. I hope it gets it. Here we go. All right. So again, the MIDI pattern has already been generated. So let's just press play and see what happens. Oh, by the way, I've linked this to Logic, to the host. So the way you do that is you go here to Egoist, and then you just go from internal to host start. All right, so let's get back here. I don't need the bass. I don't need the effects. I don't need the beat. I'm just listening for some kind of melodic, harmonic thing to support my song. looks like it made some decisions for me there. Let me go back here. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Let's see what happens. Okay, we need some more slices. You can see there's not enough slices here. You have the ability to make 16. So, we're trying to kind of catch that magic in a bottle to see if this works. Okay. So that's not playing. Oh, maybe because we got to go in here. Okay, so see, that's what I'm talking about right there. You took something that was already existing. It could have been in your catalog or not, but all of a sudden you got something that is at least mildly interesting to start, right? So let's listen to that with this track now. And I do want to bring the other one back, but just for now, I'm kind of going down a new route. Let's pave a new road. Let's see. All right. So issues. This is in another key. So that is something that you could probably determine right here where it says pitch. So let's play with that. All right, cool. So that's a pretty interesting pattern. It's something that I could see being utilized in some ways. Um, so that's cool. Let's see if we could treat it externally. Like, maybe it shouldn't be that bright. Maybe we just don't need that much. Oh, what happened? This thing is so. Look at this. It just made some. Did I press something? There's an undo button. Nope. Nope. Just made decisions for me. This thing definitely has a mind of its own. Again, I just started reading the manual. I'm about halfway through, so maybe there's like little things happening uh that I didn't catch there. But yeah, you understand kind of the workflow and my approach here. Finding an interesting preset, uh, and just creating some interesting ideas from it. Oh, wait a minute. I know what happened. Okay, see, that's okay. So this again, the pattern, this plugin, it reminds me of like a wild horse or something. It's like until you really start to get to know its structure, the way it's built, it could be very confusing. See, so what happened here was the song is playing and it's got different patterns, right? One, two, three. And so what happened was it went from my pattern to the next pattern, whatever that is. And so um, the reason that happened was because I'm inside of this big kind of preset, this song. So it's probably best to start with an initialized state. So let me see if I could find that under user. Um, nah. So most plugins provide, a state where the plugin doesn't have any settings. So I'll have to do this manually. Let's see if I can pull that off. And again, it could botch the whole thing, but I'm trying to see if maybe we can. Okay, cool. Let's see what happens here. All right. Ooh, hopefully. All right. So at least I think that we're in the clear as far as that goes. Let's listen. I'll change the key again. Let me move that back. Ooh, man, that thing is wild. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna hit the random button so I can try and find another pattern. To be honest, I kind of like that one even better. In order to prevent losing it now, just because this thing has. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to save this. So let me save this preset. We'll call it guitar flip. All right, and so the now, at least for now, I've kind of saved this idea. Um, Let me just cover one more thing about this, and then we'll move on. So right here where it says, let's see, effects. All right, so you have the option of adding effects or not. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into effects, and then there's no pattern. right now that's being generated with the slicing pattern. And again, you haven't even heard the bass and the beat capabilities. This thing's sick. But for now, just want to keep it simple. I'm gonna hit on that little dice, randomize the pattern. Let's see what we get. All right, cool. So I like that a lot. Very much into it. Um, all right, cool. And then one of the things I didn't even mention, if I go back here, you can actually play these patterns in. So like for example, if I hit this, that's a lot of reverb. Okay, I'm in effect playing one of the slices that you see up here. So then now this can actually become like a performance, right? So yeah, pretty cool that you can actually play that out. In fact, I want to see. I'm pretty sure you can play this with your keyboard somewhere. I just don't know how to do it yet. No, that's D-2. Nah, doesn't look like I'm getting it. I can see that maybe like okay, I know how to change the patterns, so that's cool. But I would like to actually play these. Oh, there we go. So I got it on what was that C3? Okay. So let me go back to C1 and then back to C3. Okay. All right. So then, geez, that's a lot of reverb. All right. So what's going on here is that now, I'm playing this on my keyboard, right? And so, if you wanted to change the pattern, you could do that. I believe the register was C0, so you just have to go down, on your transpose and go down 2 octaves or depending on where you are. And then now, in order to play the slices, you have to be in C3. So I was just trying to maneuver the keyboard. It's a big problem for new people, if you don't know how to do that yet, but you'll get used to it. I mean, there's a lot of factors, right? There's a lot of things to consider. So I'll start playing a pattern here. All right, let me turn off the effects so it's not as confusing. All right, cool. So you can generate the MIDI yourself, which I'll just give it a go right now. I'm not sure what I'm gonna play, um, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna utilize Logic's input quantize to help me. So even if I play something incorrectly, which I will probably do right now, it doesn't matter because I'll be playing on a quantization value of 16th notes. So if you didn't know, you could quantize on the way in. So even if you play it wrong, Logic will fix it immediately. Um, so the performance may still be off, but as soon as you get that playback in, it'll be on time. And of course, just because it's on time doesn't mean it's the right part. Yeah. All right. So let me hit R here, and we will go from there. Okay, cool. All right, so again, you heard the performance was not on per se, right? Um, but we go back in here and check it out. Check it out. It's a thing of beauty, ain't it? I'm telling you, team, this is why I just got hired by LearnQuest, an Apple training provider, to provide their curriculum. Because when you know your stuff and when you figure it out, problems are gonna come up. We already know that, right? That's just kind of something that's given. But you'll know how to troubleshoot them. You'll know how to overcome them. And when you overcome them, you get stronger every day, right? So if you're a beginner and you've been trying to monetize your music, you've been trying to figure out how can I do this? Like surely there has to be another way. Like the way that the world has been providing, like the path that they have kind of laid out for me is not the only way. There's got to be another path. There has to be another way to make money doing what you love. And so, believe it or not, once I finish this track, I'm gonna send it. If you know the TV show Snapped, they're gonna pick it up, and I'll get paid from it. So there's a whole world out there of opportunities for you. So don't get comfortable. Don't settle for the path that's laid out for you. And perhaps it's time that you create your path and that you get out there and that you make it happen. No more excuses. All right, so let's listen to this. Here we go. Okay, so as an idea that works, obviously it needs treatment, it needs stuff like that. But sometimes just for fun, I'll do little things like, okay, this sounded okay here, but what if I moved it up, or down a little bit? And so I'll just give that a go just to see, right? Experimentation. That was okay. Let me try this. Kind of like that one. I didn't mind it. I'll leave this for reference in case I want to bring this back at some point. And then, of course, we could bounce this to audio and start doing a whole, another array of different things. But for now, this is cool. This works for me. Um, let me hear it again, see if there's anything I want to change. And then I'm also going to compress this. And the reason I want to compress it is to level it out. I want to hear everything with fine detail. It doesn't need to be over the top, but basically right now it's just a little too quiet, and I want every note to sound the same. So auto release. I'm gonna go hard knee as when the compressor hits. When it does compress, I want it to compress it hard. Okay, and then right here with the attack, you can see that what's going on here is that I'm shaving off the top of the envelope. I'm doing this because I want to soften the initial transient. Here it's very open and bright, if you will. And just by shaving off the attack, it kind of softens the initial impression. Okay, cool. So that works. Sounds a little bit better. It's fitting a little bit better. Right now, it sounds kind of like two separate ideas that can potentially fit, but it's not quite there yet. So the next thing we'll do, see if we can add maybe like a little bit of dirt or something like that to get it to fit with the character of the rest of the song, right? How could I fit something that's, I don't know, super clean with something that's super dirty, right? So let's just see if this helps our cause. All right, I kind of like that. I kind of like that one, but now I'm gonna compress it more because I want it to be further in the back. And so this is like an interesting topic right here of discussion, especially if you kind of know what a compressor does. Again, these are all things that we teach in depth. We're working on compression right now at hfmusicacademy.com. And people are having breakthroughs, guys. People that have always wanted to learn music, their minds are opening up. And so not only that, we actually have assignments that we give out weekly, and people are just really starting to get their hands in it, and they're starting to integrate it, starting to become a part of what they do and who they are. So I'm super stoked about all the people that are coming up. And so the idea right now is I want to push it back a little bit. I want the sound, which I like, to be a little bit more in the back. And so there's kind of two ways to do this. Well, three, you could bring the volume down, but that's not going to achieve sonically what it is I'm trying to achieve here. Ideally, it'd be nice if I either A, brought down the threshold enough to where, pushed it back behind the speakers a little bit. So we're talking about the placement of sound, in the stereo image. The other thing would be to push the release back. And in so doing, what's going to happen is the compressor will never go back to, a non-compressed state. It'll kind of stay compressed the whole time. So let's try both and let's see what works. There is no right or wrong. There is no formula, right? I always tell people this isn't cooking. This isn't two eggs, a little bit of milk, half a cup of sugar. It doesn't work like that. And so we got to try things out, and we have to uh, go through experiential learning, and gather the research and become competent and exceptional over time. Here we go. All right, so that one's cool. It's interesting, but what's happening is it's a little hard. You know what I mean? Like, uh, the texture is still a little hard. And let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna go back here, and then now this time I'm gonna take the release and push it back. And so then now this is gonna be a different experience. Even though it's going to still be lower, you'll hear that the texture is very different from what you just heard with by using the threshold. So similar results, but really a different experience. Here we go. All right, so instead of hard knee, I want to go soft knee. And what that's going to do, instead of really hearing the compressor work, it's going to be a little more gentle. And a good illustration is right here. If you look closely enough, here it's kind of a jagged point. And if I just drag this over to the right, you can see that it softens up a bit. Here we go. Okay, so here's the problem with using this release all the way. When I do this, it's stagnant, and it's behind the speaker, so to speak. I'm wearing headphones right now, but if if we do that, it stays in one place. But what if you want movement? What if you actually do want it to move back and forth? That can't be achieved with the release, all the way out here. I guess this would be a slow release, yeah, as opposed to fast. Um, so let's go ahead and play with both. So we'll kind of meet somewhere in the middle, okay? Okay, so notice right here in this graph that when the release is shorter, 91 milliseconds, the compressor goes back to not being compressed, right? You can see that the signal goes back down. In fact, look at it one more time. Okay, so that moment when it stops playing, the signal's not compressed anymore, right? When I do this, it's a different experience. Listen. So it's softer because it's compressed the whole time. Here, listen to just how much more jagged it is. We're talking texture, guys. Here we go. Eddie, which one's the right one? It depends. Depends on your track. Depends how you work. Everybody's so different. So that's on you. However you want to go about it. Okay. But for now, I'm digging this softer sound, so I'm gonna run with it. Let me listen to all of this kind of in retrospect here. All right, cool. So that works for me right now. So that's kind of one of the things we can do, right? Here, let me go back to Egoist, and I'll start coming to a close with this track. I want to finish up the track we were working on last time. Sometimes I like working on multiple tracks. It's just fun that way. Um, so going back to this guy, uh, let me go ahead and find this aggressive. I forgot the name of it. Aggressive. Hold on. Aggressive. Was it loop? Uh, where's the name of it? Aggressive 3, 120 BPM. So aggressive 3, 120 BPM. All right, it's right here. See if I could load this in here like that. No, it's not gonna let me. Let me just put it on my desktop then. And make sure this is the file. I don't hear it. All right. Oh wait. Oh, that's the whole. Yep. Man, my bad. I spaced out. You know what the good part is though? I have these on another hard drive, so I'm going to pick those up in a little bit. I gotta write myself a note. Give me one sec. Boom. All right. Cool. So yeah, I think that's good for now. So we got done with the initial list. I'll tell you what. I'll go back into the book, read a couple pages from Steele, like an artist, and then we'll go into another session so we can finish that up. So anyway, kind of the point of this session was just kind of to show you this great plugin. I can't wait to get up tomorrow morning and just finish reading the manual, get my hands on it a little bit more. It is a beast. This thing, in fact, anything by Sugar Bites. These guys are phenomenal. They know what they're doing. They know how to roll. I love what they do. So okay, cool. I'm gonna hit Command S, and we're gonna get this track. We're gonna repurpose it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Lots to do here. Okay, so let me go here. Uh, Boom. All right, and then let me quit this Logic sesh. All right. So yeah, I hope you guys are well today. Man, feels good. Feels good to be doing music, guys. Feels good. If you guys want to learn about what I do, how I do it, there's a whole world out there. Music licensing, people will reach out to you. Right now, we're doing sports anthem rock. We're doing Snapped, American Pickers. So many great things. So many great opportunities. Um, yeah, so I'm feeling good. All right, so I'm gonna open up this sesh in the background, and then let's read a couple more pages. So my intention here is to kind of like influence and help people that are creative that want to find a way into the industry. There's a way. That's it. That's my testimony. If you guys didn't know, I was literally a personal trainer 7 years ago, and that was my job. And I always had this dream that, man, I know I could do music. I know I could do music, and I just wanted to find a way. Um, and man, as luck would have it, we can sit and have coffee later when we could talk about our stories. But I met the right people all at the right time. Um, I just sold a course on music licensing to Beat Academy. Shout out to Beat Academy. Just closed a big deal with an Apple training provider. Their name is LearnQuest, and I've become their the go-to guy for Logic Pro and mixing and a couple of other things. So super excited. And I'm curious as to what's next. Like what else is possible? I've done all of this stuff in only 6 years, 7 months, 6 years, 8 months. What else is possible? And I'm posing that question to you now. Maybe you've had successes, maybe you've tasted uh, a bit of success, and you're wondering like, what else can I do? So the only thing that I advise to anybody who's out there, doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your ethnicity, just get after it. Whatever's in front of you, whatever it is that you see, any job opportunities, any potential collaborations, anything that you can get your hands on, do it as fast as you can, but also as well as you can. And I guarantee you, personal promise to you, that when you finish what's in front of you, your troubleshooting list, emails that you have to accomplish, songs that you said you were going to do but you never did, I guarantee you, once you finish those things, the next thing will come. It's just like you're advancing forward in your life and in your career. And it's sometimes it doesn't feel like anything's happening, but underneath the surface, guys, I'm telling you, it's simmering, it's bubbling, it's growing, and it's just ready to explode. And then one day, boom, all of a sudden you get a call, you get an email, hey, I love what you're up to. Uh, you know, can we set up a meeting? All right, cool. One opportunity. And then maybe your friend introduces you to somebody, and then now you got another client. So then now you have two clients, right? And then after that, maybe you start making money through your PRO, ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, etc. All of a sudden, you're making $2,000 every quarter because of all the back end royalties. This is a lot of the stuff that I do. I've actually shown my royalty statements on my YouTube channel, Resources for the Modern Creative. I want to give people hope that you can actually make some cash. You can actually make your money. So get it. All right, here we go. How to look at the world like an artist. So it looks like we talked about this one. Next page. Oh man, I wish I had some of you guys on here so you guys can read. What's up, Tokyo? How's it going? Angelina, hi, thanks for sharing. Mwah, mwah, hugs. Thank you very much. What's up, Bags? Need to take off. Nice video, brother. I'll have to pick that up. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. All right. So here, let's go on to another page or two, and then we'll get to that last track. The writer Jonathan Lethem has said that when people call something original, 9 out of 10 times, they just don't know the references or the original sources involved. What a good artist understands is that nothing comes from nowhere. All creative works build on what came before. Nothing is completely original. It's right there in the Bible. There's nothing new under the sun. Ecclesiastes 1:9. Some people find this idea depressing, but it fills me with hope. As the French writer Andre Guide, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, put it, everything that needs to be said has already been said, but since no one was listening, everything must be said again. Oh man, that's awesome. If we're free from the burden of trying to be completely original, we can stop trying to make something out of nothing, and we can embrace influence instead of running away from it. So here we have a quote by William Ralph Ing. What is originality? Undetected plagiarism. Before I go on here, you know what a good example of this is? Have you guys heard the last Bruno Mars record? Bruno Mars basically ripped off Zapp and Roger from the 1980s, 1970s. If you guys aren't hip to that Bruno Mars record and who Zapp and Roger is, check them out, and I guarantee you'll hear the relationship. Now, of course, they modernized it, right? Modern music production methods, but it is a facsimile of what they did. Now, of course, Bruno Mars isn't just doing what Zapp and Roger did. He also has the James Brown kind of thing that he does as well. So think of it. He's got Zapp and Roger. He's got um, you know, also if you listen to the song, what was that song called? Something Out of Heaven. Uh, that sounds like The Police, right? And so then now you've got this blend between kind of like new wave punk rock and then James Brown. And so that's how he found his sound. And so what we're looking for is you pick a couple people that you really like, that you're really into, and of course they could be famous, they could be big, or they could just be underground, or they could be mid-level. It doesn't really matter, but steal from somebody that you want to learn from, borrow from those that you want to learn from, and then make it your own. All right, let's do one more. The genealogy of ideas. Every new idea is just a mashup or a remix of one or more previous ideas. Here's a trick they teach you in art school. Draw two parallel lines on a piece of paper. How many lines are there? There's the first line, the second line, but then there's a line of negative space that runs between them. Do you see it? See it? 1 plus 1 equals 3. Hope you guys got that one. So there's a line here, there's a line here, and there's a line here. The lines in between. So this is what they're trying to tell you. You can take from two people, but then that will make you. So hopefully that helps you guys. All right, let's get into some music here. Yeah, I think I'll just keep this book going. This will be my book club that I do every Mondays and Wednesdays at 5:30. All right, so here, real quick, guys. You guys know that I've been playing with this idea. It's been fun, and really the whole idea is just like I don't know what to write, or I'm too tired to write, and I want to make this easy, and I want to have fun again. I'm tired of all the technical stuff. How do I do this? All right, well, I basically dragged in this beat, okay, and then I just replicated it with, I believe it was this. Yeah. I just played the kick and the snare with my machine, And so that sounded like this. Okay, so that's pretty simple to understand. Why did I do that? Well, maybe you don't know how to write beats right now, or maybe you're really good at, let's call it like reggae music, or I don't know, pop, like pop rock or something. But when it comes to hip hop, you don't got it like that yet, right? And so these are hacks to kind of get you in without necessarily not uh growing up playing NPCs or what have you. You can drag in a loop, you can modify it, play with it. And today I'm gonna actually play with these kicks to really make it uh come out a little bit. So we replace the drums. Um oh yeah, and it's good to have a little list like this. Um if at the very least, it just kind of moves the ball forward. Okay. I added a chord progression, so I'm gonna call it there. We're currently decorating the Christmas tree, or the song as a whole. So that's just a figure of speech there. We're gonna add an 808. We're gonna add some percussion, and then what did I just say? Oh yeah, add kicks. In fact, let me start there before I space out. So let's get 2 bars. I'm gonna click on this region, hold Shift, click on that region, and then hit Command U to create a cycle region. Roger that. All right, so let's go ahead and try and see if we can add some kicks, something that is aggressive, 16th note, something like that. Okay, so right there would be a nice place. That last snare. So either there's a couple ways to do this. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually create like another track in order to do this. So there is no one way to do anything in any program, right? It's just a matter of whoever it is you're learning from, what their approach is. So you could see that I'm going to select the kicks. Take a listen. In fact, I should solo these. Check it out. All right. And the purpose of that is so that I can take them and place them underneath this last snare, which is right here. Right. So this is a little bit of voodoo magic, but it's cool. So I'm taking these two. I'm gonna hit Control V, bounce to audio, and I'm gonna call this add kick with the source. There's nothing I want to do to the source. I'm going to leave it. I don't want to mute it. I don't want to delete it. Um, this stuff I usually just leave on. I'm not normalizing it. The signal is healthy. You can see it. I'm good. All right, so we're gonna bounce that. Okay, good. So you see what's happening here. Now, got the original kicks, but then I've got the extra stuff right here. So let me trim this up. Let me clean it up the way I want to. Normally, I would not do it like this. I just want to be clear. Normally, I would be in the session, rather in the track, and I would have just included those kicks. But because I have a snare on the final phrase of the beat, then I have to do it like this, right? I don't have an option. Now, why did I do this one and this one together? Well, because there's 2 kicks that make up the whole, and so I needed to isolate them two together. And so I know I meet a lot of people, and I show them some of my workflows, and they're blown away by just kind of the simplicity, you know. Um, and if you haven't checked out my workflow on, I'm sorry, my video on Logic yet, when it just came out on the YouTube channel, it's called "How to Improve Your Workflow in Logic." It is phenomenal. Even for those of you who don't use Logic, trust me, really good video will completely change your approach to this game. Okay, so let me check this real quick. Okay, cool. All right. Um, I'm just gonna go with one for now. So I just want that one. Mm, let's see. See if I could make this as clean as possible. Okay, I'll probably take that. Um, all right, and then the idea is that we want this to be a 16th note for now. Let me change. So, ba 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 ba. Okay, so let me close this. My snap mode is going to be in division. I want to do 16th notes. So in this tempo, it'd be 1 right? So if you don't know music theory, something we can talk about later. If you want to see something like that, hit me up in the chat or send me a DM. And if I see enough information, then I'll get into that stuff. But for now, we're going to take that. Okay, select the marquee tool. There's other ways to do this, but believe me, this is the easiest. It's a little technical. There's a little learning curve, but you can learn this in an afternoon or an evening if you just spend some time doing it. I consult clients from all over the world. Trust me, this will make a difference. All right, I'm going to hit Command D, and you can see now that I've got that kick pattern that I was looking for. I'm going to clean up that last one, and let's see how this sounds. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's almost as delicious as a gourmet hamburger, gourmet steak, right? All right, let's listen to this. Cool. I don't know. Maybe we'll add some more, but for sure, I'm into this. So let me hold on. Let me do one thing. Boom. What's going on here? Thank you. All right, Command U. All right, let me just listen. I just want to know for sure if this is it, so we can move on. Here we go. All right, I'm just gonna add 2 more, and then that's it. I don't want to overdo it. I think right there. So what did I do there? I did it quickly, right? Just went beat mode, and I have all of this set to key commands. Again, reference the last video, resources for the modern creative, and I just dragged it over real quick. Yep. All right, cool. So I like that a lot. Now, just the last question is like, do I want to add that at the very beginning? I don't think so, but I don't rely on just memory. I rely on experience, right? If I when I have clients here and they're like, "Hey, can we try this?" I'm always like, "Okay, let's try it." Sometimes I'll say, "Hey, I don't think it's gonna work," but I always try it because you can't rely on just your memory. All right, here we go. All right, so now I'm trying to figure out the math on this, like where exactly to put it. I'm pretty sure it's right there. I'm just gonna go all the way so I don't have to think about this later. Let me just take one final listen, just so I can kind of like release this thought in my head. So like, hold on, just one thing. So here there's a snare that's a triplet, and it's actually distracting. This part got distracting. So I'm not the kind of composer producer that cares about the pattern. I care about the feel and the dynamics, like how it carries you along. And so I'm gonna delete at least one or two, for sure one, and then we'll see how this sounds because this snare does not. It's they're not lining up. Yeah, so just right here on this one, it's not gonna work. Maybe just the two, but if not, just the one. Ooh. So okay, that's interesting right there because you've got the triplets here, right? 1, 2, 3, and then you've got the 16th notes here. So that's really cool. That's something that, in fact, we call like the happy accidents, and I would say I don't know is responsible for like 20% or more of what I do, to be honest. Here, let's check this out. Hold on. Yep. Yep, I will take it. Cool. Let me just listen to the rest of this, make sure it all flows. Notice I'm listening to the whole thing. I could have been careless. I could have, just been proud. Like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, right? That doesn't do anything, right? We're here to make music because we love it, right? It gives us life. Be proud of what you do, like not pride, but like take care of it, guys. This is your music. Most of the time, like I see that people they're not there yet because they don't care about it enough. They care about it just enough to get them by or to make them feel like they can say that they're a musician or a composer, but they're not fully invested in it, right? I look at each one of these tracks like it's my child, for to use a bad example, but I love it, man. I love these tracks and I really want them to go far. I've had tracks on film trailers that I never thought they would have even seen the light of day. Honestly, truly, this is not uh no exaggeration. There's been tracks that I just wrote and I had so much fun, particularly one track I have called The Guardian. If you go to my vimeo.com/slash Eddie Gray Music, you can see my reel and on my body of work. And man, that song not only did it got on a film trailer, but it got on a commercial, big time commercial, international commercial. Got me paid, and that's when I started drinking the juice. Like, okay, we can really do this. Like, we can actually make this happen. There's a lot of people all over the world. Think of it, right? There's a lot of clients all over the world. There's a lot of people that will actually pay you to write these tunes. I know as of right now, you're looking at this like, okay, well, this is pretty basic, but we're still only on session number 2, right? We're just drafting this thing out. And why are we doing this? Well, because I want to show people how to do it. I feel like all of the manufactured videos on YouTube, no hate, no shade. It's just, it's not the real thing. That's not what it looks like. It looks like things are get messy and oh, I lost that file and geez, I got to go get the batch converter. Oh my God, I deleted it. That's what it really looks like. And so I'm here in an effort to empower other creative human beings that are out there. I know it, man. I feel it. I absolutely know from the bottom of my heart that I'm going to help some people. So we're going to keep fighting. We're going to be consistent. We're going to stay on the path and we're going to get it. All right. So I'm happy with this. Let's listen to the rest of this phrase and then we'll move on. So that one kind of concerns me. Maybe not, but let's check it out. Not because I know, because I want to experience it. I'm muting one. Control M is the key command, and I want to listen, and then I'll make a decision. I definitely like this one a little bit better. Let's move on. All right. I actually really like this one, but the problem is I got this. I forgot if this was a 64th or 32nd, but regardless, it doesn't matter. And so these kicks can't get in the way. Okay. Yeah, I could probably throw in one. All right, check this out. Like that doesn't bother me, so I may do that. But again, just let me hear it one more time. I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna delete these 3. I'll leave this muted for later. And all right, here we have our basic layout. And dude, we're gonna do so much more to this. It's gonna be awesome. Tiger, what's up, man? Good. All right. What's up, Base? Eldon. Good to see you, man. We need to talk sometime. It's been a while. All right. So what do we got to do here? Do I got anything on the list? Let's decorate the Christmas tree. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Let me think about this. I don't know if I want to add this 808 right now. Let me decorate the Christmas tree. So we're just gonna add little decorations. Okay, super simple stuff. I'm gonna use the touche here. Let me bring in this plugin. Super cool. It's like probably I don't know, my favorite piece of gear or my second favorite piece of gear. It's a MIDI controller by Lie, Lie. And so you can see what I'm doing is hitting my keyboard. That's bringing up a MIDI note, right? And then I'm controlling MIDI data from the controller itself. Check it out. So I'm going to use that sound to create just a little bit of just interest, as a whole. Um, Let me see. What do I have here? What's this synth here? Oh yeah, I wrote this last time. I remember. Yeah, cool. I like that a lot. That's simple. That decay may be too long, but that's a whole nother conversation. So I like the sound, but it's obviously too dry. And so we're gonna add some reverb. So check this out. The song already has a lot of reverb, yeah? And so I'm kind of like, well, why would I add more when there's already so we're gonna add a reverb, but it's just gonna be a room because we don't need a long decay right now. We just need to, you know, cover it up and make it pretty and make it shiny, okay? So let's just use uh you could use anything, but I'll just go with vintage verb. Shimmer is always nice by Valhalla, but again, I already have that role occupied, right? We don't want too many cooks in the kitchen. So let's listen to this. See what this sounds like. All right, good. So I don't know if I'm gonna go that funky in terms of just the performance. It's gonna be really simple, but that's kind of what I want, and I'm not sure what register. Maybe I'll go there. Yeah, and I don't know if I. So this part's really interesting because it's playing a chord. It's not just one note. There's two notes. But if I go down to the chord progression, so it's G sharp. Hold on, I got to think about it. I play guitar. My guitar's back there. C G sharp. So then E F G sharp. Okay, that may work. Let's try it. Let me see. There's one more thing. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, I think you're kind of. We don't need that. I think you kind of hear what I hear in terms of that idea. Does it have to be perfect? No, surely not, right? We just need to get the idea on paper. What is this doing up here? Jeez. Uh, what happened to wait, what? Okay, here it is. Awesome. All right, and then so visually, so I don't confuse myself here, color it, right? I'll just go with that. Sometimes, yeah, you know what? All synthesizers in blue for now. Now let's listen back. All right. And I'm not overly concerned with making it sound good right now. On the surface, the way it's presented sounds good enough, and so that's good enough for me. So, let me. Hmm, oh man, so many ideas. Hold on. Let me add myself a reminder. I want to add a machine drum. I may have to do that. Let me just do. I'm gonna do two more things, and then I'm out of here. Um, because of course we know we can be here all night, but I gotta wake up early because I want to read the manual for Egoist. So here we go. Here we go. Okay, so this is a cool trick for especially for Logic users, but really anybody. This synthesizer, Alchemy, it's really cool, and it's set up in such a way where you can either create or you can find presets that have kind of almost sounds within sounds, and you can um, have the source sound evolve over time into new presets. So rather than just switching from preset to preset, it can convert into something new. So let me show you what I mean. Um, I have a keyboard here, but then I have a smaller keyboard which I call my articulation switcher. Man, I wish I had a camera for you, but basically it's just a little keyboard, um, a keyboard. It's a smart keyboard, and so I'm gonna start key switching. Um, let's see. I forgot how I set that up too. I did it earlier. Hmm. Oh, is it here? I don't remember. But it doesn't matter. Find out how to key switch in here. And here's the deal. The way I've got it set up, you can see that every time I hit, hold on, let me look up the control bar. When I hit C0, I'm on the original patch. When I hit C sharp, it moves up to the next patch. And if I go up chromatically, I can play different parts. Now, this is a phenomenal creative tool where I'm playing one thing. Check it out. Uh, and you get the point. You're kind of switching back and forth. So I was playing something. All right. I was playing something earlier today that I really liked. So I'm going to see if I can get that going again. I don't remember the register. Feels too high. Let me play with it for a bit. Hang on. All right. So yeah, I'll have to find that again. But even again, just for now to get it on, just to get it on there, I'm fine with just playing it out. So I'm gonna go ahead, apply some parallel compression here. Why am I doing this? I can't hear it, to be honest. It sounds too light in the mix. I could also raise up the volume of the actual plugin, but that's just not something I want to do. So again, we're learning compression, hfmusicacademy.com. I do believe that I got the best explanation in the game. I really do. It's certainly helping a lot of people. I'll tell you that. Wait a minute. All right, cool. There we go. All right. Okay, so here's before the compression or the parallel compression, and it's probably a better idea to just hit that. See how soft it is, right? If I just put a little bit of this, sounds a little bit more intimidating, a little bit more interesting. So I'm just gonna record a couple of ideas, whatever comes off the top of mind, and then bear in mind here under recording, MIDI recordings, I have this set to merge, and that's not what I want. I don't want this to merge together. What I would like is to create track alternatives. All right. So now tracks will be nested in a group on the same track. So right now I only have one, but you'll see after I play this a couple times that I'm going to have more. So I'm just going to jam out. Here we go. Actually, you know what? That was the line that I was playing earlier today. I love that line. So it sounds so nice in that. This isn't the right part, but it's just that it gives me a sense of where I'm going, and that's what I want you to start doing. People are paralyzed with fear, right? Like they have to do it right or it has to be perfect. I'm just looking for the next step. That's what I'm interested in. What is next? How can I get a little bit closer to my goal, to my dreams, to my aspirations? All right. So let me lay this out. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Cool. Man, I like that. Da, 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 da. So nice. Okay. So yeah, sometimes a simple melody, it's like the harmony and the way that it all balances out is really nice. Which is the first note? What's going on here? What note was I hitting? Oh, MIDI is out. Thank you very much. So what could be nice is that right before the phrase ends, so that we're not so predictable. Being predictable is good, but a little bit of not being predictable is cool too. So is that we get out of the phrase and we go back to like another where would we go? What would it be? Da, 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 uh, I guess here. We'll try this. Oh wait, wrong note though. This one. Okay, let's see that. And you know what? I'm gonna double down. Let's try it, guys. Let's try it. Yeah. Okay, cool. That kind of worked out, but what happened to my phrase? It looks like something moved. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. All right, cool. So I'm going to select these and then just nudge them over. All right. Let me make a proper edit. Proper. Cool. Oh, man, I had to stand up. I've been sitting for a while here. Hope you guys are good. Let's stay up, man. What's up? Thank you. Yep. Appreciate the comment. All right. So let's listen to this. Here we go. That's juicy. That is juicy. And so again, while not perfectly mixed yet, I'm excited about like the possibilities, and so that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm teaching at hfmusicacademy.com is how to be liberated again. It doesn't have to be that complicated. I really wasn't sure what notes I was gonna play and where everything was. I do my best to prepare and study. Again, I got up at 4:30 this morning, read the half of the manual for this new software that I was playing with earlier, but it's about the commitment, guys. It's about the commitment. And are you in? Are you in? I want you to really ask yourself that question. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror. I want you to say, are you in? Are you going to do this? Right? Maybe you failed in the past. Maybe 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 you lost. Okay, I've lost before in music. When I first started this, I was a singer songwriter. All I wanted to do was tour, travel the world, do that whole thing. And I did tour and I did travel, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. All right. I sold out shows. I played a residency, and it just got to the point where it just wasn't giving me anything back. And you know what? I decided to put it down. I decided to put it down. I retired that career on top. I felt really good, played some really big shows, played with some beautiful, phenomenal musicians. And I just got to the point where I felt like I'm worth more than this. And I want to see big contracts. I want to see $20,000 contracts, $30,000 contract. I want to know that I'm getting mine, right? And so I decided to quit that world, and then sure enough, man, I was playing video games, 2K, whatever version Jordan was on. There was that one year where Jordan was the featured, and I was playing those video games, and I looked at my bank statement, and I had made some money. I was like, wait a minute, you can actually make money doing music. So what I didn't tell you was, and preface was to say that I had met a music supervisor a year prior to that while I was still doing my artist thing. And I had pitched her my catalog, my Eddie Gray catalog, singer songwriter. And it was cool, but I didn't think anything of it. I just thought I've been promised all sorts of stuff as an artist, right? People had told me that, oh yeah, we're gonna get you on tour with such and such. Um, uh, the music industry, for me, in my experience, it didn't add up to what I thought it was going to be. And so feeling that loss and feeling that failure, that man, I didn't do what I set out to do, man, I was really sad by it. I was really down about it. And I made myself a promise that if one day I ever got there, that if I ever did anything worth of value, if I ever touched anybody's life, if I ever contributed to the life of another with music, and if I ever got to a position of influence, that I would do it in such a way where I would be so committed that I would give my heart and soul to the life of the modern creative. There's a new specimen that's being germinated right now, guys. There's a new uh, kind of musician that's currently being formulated and trained specifically at hfmusicacademy.com, but really just everywhere. Young people that have laptops, other people who maybe were in the analog world for a long time, but now they want to work in the digital world, and they want to figure out how to work quickly, and they want to write 20 songs. If you guys didn't know, for the Audio Sparks Challenge, which the deadline I believe is this weekend, whenever August comes around, so the end of July, I've already turned in over 100 songs, and my deadline was the end of the month. I did it early, guys. July 15th, I turned in all the songs July 15th. You can ask my assistant about that. So, anyway, when I made that promise, I knew somehow, some way, that when it happened, it was going to be it's going to be my turn to give back, and I was going to have to figure out a way. And so here I am. Here is my love and my care and my support, because I really do want to contribute to the life of creative people. Someone's going to do it. I don't know who it is, but I'm telling you right now, man, I am professing, I am speaking truth into the world, into the web, and I know someone's going to come up, someone's going to succeed in a very big way. And when it happens, I'm not going to take the credit for it, but when it happens, I am going to celebrate with you. So I'm so excited about it. Thank you guys for another great call. I'm super stoked. I appreciate you guys. You have no idea how much I love and respect you, and I want you to win. So, for all my members of HF Music Academy, I'll see you guys on Saturday, 12 p.m. And let's get it. Let's go. You ready? Come on, guys. You ready? All right. We'll see you Saturday. Take care of yourselves. Cheers. Stay up.